my goodness, what's going on with my hair?
Placing it on my beard.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's that time again. It is Saturday, 2 o'clock. We're back to our normal time after our trip last week. Did you guys get to see our trip to the ice castles up in Minnesota? It was so beautiful. If you did not get a chance to see that, you've got to head on over and check out the video that I put up. It is so beautiful. I think we should put in a quarter for every time poor Papa Jim said his feet were cold.
I don't know if we have enough money for that.
We don't have enough money for that, he says. It was cold. I have to say, in the beginning of our video, when we went on our date night, by the way, welcome everybody. If you're watching this on a replay, thanks for checking this out. This is our weekly live where we just come on for just a little while. And Papa Jim stuffs my piñata. He stuffs my cupcake. And if you don't know what that is, you've been missing out. So what we have done is there are several types of budgeting challenges that you can find on YouTube. We've taken a combination of some of those budgets and we have made it into something our very own. And so instead of doing the 100 envelope challenge where you stuff 100 different envelopes with set denominations and you always end up with $5,050, we have taken the numbers 1 through 50 and 51 through 100. We put them on a carnival style wheel. We're spinning those and then we're taking that money and we're stuffing it in a cupcake. And then at the end of 26 weeks, we're also going to be selecting where we go on a trip. We will be using that money to go on a trip. So we show up every Saturday for our weekly cupcake stuffing. And I can't wait till next time we do this because I'm going to get a taco and we're going to have stuffed tacos. We're going to stuff a taco. It raises eyebrows. It really does.
We're going to do what?
We're going to stuff a taco. He loves it and he knows it. So last week we went up to, hello, Rochelle, stuff it, baby. She says, stuff it.
You hear that?
You're going to stuff a muffin today.
This is my guest appearance today.
We have a guest host today. This is Mei Mei, which means little sister in Chinese.
Yes. She's our latest of our
rehome rescues.
Of our pups. We've had her for going on a couple years now.
But watch this. She's very jealous of our other dog, Harley, our little blind dog. Yeah. So let's see if she'll do it.
Yeah. But anyway, so
say his name.
How long have we had her?
We've had her almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years.
And she gets more jealous the older she gets.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Which is Harley.
What?
Harley. Harley. What?
And Harley's barking.
Harley.
Say Harley. Harley. She hates that name.
She's jealous. She won't let country mama.
She doesn't. She's jealous of me too. All the dogs stop barking. Right. It's hard on everybody's ears.
All right. No more.
Don't do that.
No more.
So we've got a handful of change that we're going to put in our change jar. No name says wolf. I don't know how much change are we going to take out of our little. We've got all kinds of change. It's hard for me to bend my wrist.
Come here, Grumpy.
It's been injured.
She's grumpy. She's growling.
She is growling. She's growling at poor little blind dog.
Blind dog.
Okay, so we each have a handful of change. Here you go, Papa Jim. And we have our little change box. Now, I did say I'm not telling anybody how much is in here. You guys have to follow every week, and we tell you how much we put in here. And at the end of 26 weeks, whoever comes closest without going over is either going to win their very own mason jar counting bank or a Country Mama Musings coffee mug, or you can choose for us to buy you some type of a tchotchke little gift from wherever we end up on our travels. So I'm going to start with a dime and see if it starts our bank going. I did tell you guys last week we hit a milestone. You have to guess what the milestone is. My very best friend down in Tennessee, she's trying to get me to tell her how much we've got in the piggy bank. And I said, I'm not telling. I said, but there's a milestone. We hit a milestone. She goes, was it $10? I said, I don't know. Was it? Harley, stop. Here, let me take your change and you put him right here in between us, Papa Jim. We're just going to be surrounded by dogs today. There's our little blind baby.
All right, come here. Oh, she's out.
So she said, is it $20? I said, I don't know. Is it? She says, is it $25? I don't know. I said, it's a milestone. She goes, was it the year I was born? That's a milestone. I said, I'm not telling. So we did hit a milestone last week. I'm not saying what the milestone is, but I already put a dime in for those of you who are paying attention. I'm going to put a quarter in. I have to make sure I'm not putting real quarters, like silver ones in.
She wanted to know if it was the year she was born.
Yeah, because she thinks that's a milestone for me.
1945.
Ooh, she's gonna be mad. I'm putting a dime in just for that. What are you gonna put? You got to put something in for putting that joke out there for poor Debbie.
A dime. Which way's which? A dime. I gave her my 2 cents.
Gave her 2 cents worth.
A nickel. And 2 quarters.
And 2 quarters. Wow.
Yeah. He
realizes that was a pretty bad insult.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that next time that she sees me,
you're gonna get it.
Probably gonna get it.
So. Papa Jim still does not know about the challenge that we will be completing if we go down anywhere near Tennessee or Branson, Missouri. There is a challenge that we are going to be participating in. Also, I've kind of almost sort of got Lisa over at Yogi Hollow Farm in agreement to do the challenge should we end out at Mount Rushmore. So she has her own specifications, though, of how we do that challenge. But I think she's on board for actually doing the challenge. Papa Jim doesn't know what the challenge is, but it will be fun. So, but having said that, let's say we get our very first spinny wheel done. I don't have it pulled up again to share a screen. I've got it on our spinning wheel. So, you guys ready? We're going to spin for 1 through 50. I don't know if we're going to get a double this week. I did go to the bank, Papa Jim, here we go. And I got some more money to put in our envelope so that we can then stuff my muffin with it. It's a cupcake, but it's just funner that way. Okay, here we go, guys. You guys get to see it before we do. Did we get a double? No. And now there's a commercial. Did you guys see what it was? I have to wait for the commercial now before I can see what it was. We have $25. So, Papa Jim, we need $25 to put into the muffin cupcake. And we should have plenty of money because we have some in reserve. And we have... oh, God. The older I get, the harder it is to actually reach my muffin. Woo! There we go.
How much is it?
25. So there's a 20 and a 5. $25. I'm going to fold it up and Papa Jim stuff that muffin. Got to make it where they can see it.
Let me lift up the flap.
He's got to lift up the flap on my muffin.
There you go.
Ooh. Tickled. He says that's not normally what she says. So, last weekend we did have that great date day. We did not put any video footage up of our drive home. It was treacherous. I don't know if any of you watch Adventures with Purpose, where there's a dive team that they dive and find cars of people who have driven off into a lake or a river and they find them. We were driving back, and of course we were up in Minnesota, which is the land of 10,000 lakes. And as we're driving in the snow, almost being blown off the road by big 18-wheelers, I didn't mention it to him until much later. And he didn't mention it to me until much later. But we were both thinking, oh, man, we're going to go off of this bridge and go right into the water. I don't want to be dug out by Adventures with Purpose. So that's a plug for them. If you haven't seen them, go subscribe to them and tell them that we sent you. They do great things for great people. They really, really do. So for Adventures with Purpose, I'm putting in a whole $1. There's 25. I got to find the right coinage. There's 50. There's 75. 85. 90. 95. $1 more into our mason jar for Adventures with Purpose because they're such great people. What are you putting in, Papa Jim? 25. 50,
51,
51,
52, 53, 63,
63,
73,
73,
74, 75. Kind of keep it.
75. So that was $1.75 to go in for Adventures with Purpose. You know, we didn't plan on talking about this, but we had a young man in our community that was missing for 7 years. 7 years. Nobody had any answers as to where this young man went. And everybody was always looking for him. And I will admit, when my sister and I first came onto this farm where we live now, that there were big weeds growing up all around the outbuildings and the barns and everything. And when we kind of pushed the weeds aside so we could look in the barn, there was a car in there. And of course, he was missing with his car. And I got like this instant panic. His car was silver, and this was kind of a silver looking car. And I kind of went into a panic. I thought we had found him. I thought he was in our barn. But it wasn't. It was an older car that the prior owner was actually working on. But, and so that was in 2000. He went missing in 2013. That was still in 2013. He'd only been missing a few months at that time.
Yeah.
And so we bought the farm in 2014. And all this time, everybody's been looking for this young man with his car. And there were signs in town for the whole 7 years that he was missing. And Adventures with Purpose came out to our area, and they looked in a couple of lakes and quarries, rock quarries that are then filled with water, and they didn't find him. And somebody contacted them and said, hey, he was at a party that night, and it was over here at this little lake, not over here at that little lake. And this little lake had already been searched, and they never found him. But they found him within 30 minutes of searching. They had access to that property, and they found him within 30 minutes. So his family finally had the answers of where he was. Yeah. They were able to retrieve the car and his remains. Right. And it was, some closure to that story. So we've kind of been following Adventures with Purpose ever since then. So if you're kind of into really watching some really good stories about recovery and people that are doing some good, Adventures with Purpose are really good. They really help a lot of families.
And their specialty is water.
Yeah, and they do dive.
They're divers, and so they the one guy who hosted, or he, I think that was his internal calling, was to do something like this, and so his wife and family and stuff like that, given this opportunity of going in his motorhome and his trailer with all of his equipment that he's assembled
and they find missing people. It's really great. They really gave a lot of closure to the hearts in this community. And I personally didn't know this young man, but my brother, my sister-in-law, their children, my neighbor down the street, lots of people knew this young man. So it was really a heartbreaking thing. So, but I want to say hello to Marcia with Oils and Wellness with Marcia. Welcome in, Marcia. And yes, you're a little late, you say, but you can watch the replay. That's quite all right. And Tammy's here with Rebel Canners. Now, can everybody listen? Can you hear the hissing in the background? I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the fireplace, or can you hear my canner going in the background, Tammy? I've got, what do I have going in there? Do you remember what they're called? They're so good.
Hang on. They're some type of bean.
It's A, B, C, D, E, F. Fiesta beans. I'm doing Fiesta beans, Tammy. I love doing Fiesta Ranch beans. In my canner, I've got the little Nesco going right now, so I'm doing 5 pints at a time. It is a Rebel canning recipe. A lot of people aren't going to agree with it, but I made some a couple years ago. We noshed on them for the last year and a half, and I'm out, so I've got more going. Did 5 this morning, got 5 more in that little canner this afternoon, and I just love those beans. Thinking about doing a video. You can hear the Fiesta beans. You know what's really great? When I cook the Fiesta beans, I add just a little bit of baking soda, and then later on, you don't hear the Fiesta beans. Although Papa Jim says I should leave the baking soda out, because then that is our built-in test to make sure that we don't have the coof. the cinnamon vanilla virus, because if I can still smell it, you know we're not sick. Hello. Hello, Laura. Laura, I emailed you. You email me back, and then I'll know that I've made the right decision about Monday night. Are you putting a quarter in for my bad joke about whether you know you have the virus or not because you can smell the Fiesta beans on the backside there?
50 cents.
50 cents. That's what that one got. So, yes, I'm enjoying making my canning my beans, my Fiesta beans. I'm going to be doing as many as I can get done this week because we really do love them. And I didn't get to it, but Coupon Gale, over at Coupon Gale's, she actually said she dropped some penny list for Dollar General, and Dollar General had bags of pinto beans for a penny. But
Oh my God.
I didn't get them. They got scooped up before I got there. Somebody else got all of the pinto beans for $1 a bag. Wouldn't that have been amazing?
$1 a penny a bag.
A penny a bag. A penny a bag. I'm sorry.
Penny
a penny a bag at the Dollar General. I know. And I had like the UPC code on my phone, and I was like, I was on the hunt, and I went before they were supposed to drop to a penny, and they were there, and somebody snaked them. So we cannot smell the Fiesta beans inside our house, Laura says. Laura is not feeling well, so I think that's her hint to say that she can't smell. I should go check that out. Oh, Tammy, it's wonderful. I want to do a video on it. I'm going to do a video on it, so be sure to check out my video. I will drop that this week. Who else do we have in here? Laura and Tammy and Marsha. Okay, so we've done one roll of our spinny wheel, and we've stuffed our cupcake. And so, Tammy, if you don't know what we're doing, we're saving money on a budget to go on a trip. And what we do is we have 2 spinny wheels. One is numbered 1 through 50. We've already done that one, and we put $25 in our cupcake piñata. This one is numbers 51 through 100. It does have 2 double spaces, and we've yet to hit a double. So we're trying to see if we're going to hit a double. We have enough money in the coffers right now that if we do have a double, we can't afford it. Hello, Ben's Over Acres. Welcome.
Well, if we don't start hitting some higher numbers, our vacation can probably, I don't know how far it's going to get.
If we don't hit some numbers, it's going to be, the vacation's just going to end up being like the dumpster behind the corral. What's that corral? Pizza Corral?
Yeah, or
the Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
We'll end up in the dumpsters behind the Golden Corral if we don't start putting in place some bigger numbers. All right, here we go. Guys, 50 through 100. I'm going to turn the music up. And here we go. And this is week 5, by the way. Oh, man, it passed the double. You guys get to see it before we do, because then a commercial comes up. Can't see how much we got. We have $58. So, Papa Jim, $58. Count it out and stuff it in my muffin. Let me reach around for my muffin again. Like I said, the older I get, the harder it is to reach my muffin. Where'd my muffin go? Oh, it's down here. My muffin's on the floor.
How much is
sucks getting older.
58?
58. I almost forgot how much it was. $58. So put $58 in here, Papa Jim. Can you guys hear it? It's filling up full of money for only 5 weeks. We've had a couple weeks where it's been over $100. That's the other great thing about what we're doing is a lot of the budget things that people do, they have trackers so they can keep track of how much money they've put away. And that way, when they're done with however many weeks, whether it's 26 weeks or 52 weeks, then they can look at their tracker and it adds up to a set number. And then they count what they've put away and see if it matches. I'm not keeping track of anything. We have no idea how much is in here. So it's going to be a surprise when we go on our vacation. So Papa Jim's counting out 58. He's sad because he's counting out a bunch of singles. He knows that's cutting into his entertainment money right there.
Man, that's wrong.
That's wrong. Like if we were to go to Vegas, I'd want him to keep all his singles. That's not on our list of places to go. So count it out for everybody, Papa Jim. Count it out where they can see it. Oh, right here.
There's 20, 30, 40, 50.
Here's 50.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I like like looking at the dollar bills. I noticed some of them have writing on them. It's a cute little muffin. Thank you, Laura. It's been a long time since I've heard that. Papa Jim used to say it all the time. So, $58. We're going to fold it up. Papa Jim, stuff the muffin.
Oh, I don't know.
We need special stuffing muffin.
This is pretty big
Music.
stuff in there.
It's hard to stuff it in there. That's a big package of stuff in that little muffin.
There it is. Woo! Shake it up.
Shake it up. We got quite a bit of money saved up in here. And don't anybody worry. I know people have said, oh my goodness, aren't you worried about having a cupcake piñata in your house full of money and somebody's going to come steal it? It's locked up, safe and secure. Yeah. Nobody's going to get to it. The same with the money that we keep in the coffers. We're going to put it all back in our little bank bag. It will go into a safe. Nobody's going to touch it. And we have that. And then we have our money jar. And so for those of you who are just joining us, if you can guess how much money we end up with 26 weeks into this is our 5th week without going over, and we will give you hints. We tell you every time we put money in so you can add up as you watch these. Then whoever gets the closest without going over will either get one of these Mason penny jars, and it counts the money as you put it in, or you can get a Country Mama Musings coffee mug. You know, you can get one that says wrap your mitts around 2 hot chicks, and it's me and a chicken. Or you can get the one that says, once upon a time there was a girl and she said, let that go, and she lived happily ever after. So that's one of my other ones. And if you don't want to wait to see if you can win one, Nightbot is dropping the link right there so you can order your own coffee mug. Since I plugged Nightbot, I'm going to put a little bit of change in since we're talking about it. So here I've got 1, 2, 3. We should have not done pennies. 4 and a nickel. That's 9 more cents to our total today. 10, 11, 12, 13, and a dime more.
23.
Ooh, we're getting closer to another milestone, guys. I'm not going to say what the milestone is. Now, something we started last week, because if you've been watching, we started with 4 locations that we were thinking about going to. I have locations I want to go to. Papa Jim has locations he wants to go to. How are we going to decide where we're going to go? Is it going to be a coin toss? Are we going to roll the dice? What's it going to be? And we kind of started with one place. And it's like, oh, but it'd be fun to go here and it'd be fun to go there. So we've added another one. We've got 5 now. And I'm going to open up that spinny wheel. We have another spinny wheel. Life is all about the spinny wheels. And we have our destination. I just closed it. Our destination carnival wheel. Do you see there? So on here we have Branson, Missouri. We have Mount Rushmore, Chicago by train, Nashville, or Mackinac Island. And if we go to Mackinac Island, we have to go over on the pirate ship. So lots of fun things to do. And what we're going to do is we're spinning every week. We write down whatever the wheel chooses and we throw it in the cupcake. And then when we bust the cupcake open, we're going to see how many gets the most votes, or which one gets the most votes. Okay. So here we go. We're going to spin for our destination. And right now I know what's ahead. I know which one's ahead. But once we start adding more to it, I'm not going to be able to remember which one's ahead. So here we go. Oh, music. We need music. And there's a glare. My best friend's going to be very happy with that one. Sorry, guys. Somebody pulled up in the driveway and the dogs are barking. I know it's a pain. It's the same vehicle they've seen 20 million times, but they still bark at it like it's the first time they've ever seen it. So our spinny wheel said we are going to Nashville, Tennessee. So we're going to write down Nashville, Tennessee.
Does it say Nashville, Tennessee, or Nashville somewhere?
It said Nashville, Tennessee. So Nashville, Tennessee. There it is. It's going to get stuffed in the cupcake, Papa Jim. Here you go. It's going in there with the other destinations that have made it. And like I said, we'll count these up when they're done. Mackinac Island in May is beautiful. They have the lilac. Oh, the lilac festival. We're not Shush! Let them outside, honey. They're not so noisy.
Hey.
Could you please?
Hey.
Because James is out there.
Come here.
We're not choosing until the end of 26 weeks, which will be June, almost July, if it's not already going to be July. So we'll miss the May festival. But finish this one, we'll be starting another one. We can certainly plan. Of course, if we get Mackinac Island, and that's where we're going to go summer, fall. So we will be doing that. So that's pretty much it for the day. The dogs are going to have a little conniption fit because we've got company.
There's another one.
There's another yellow dog.
Where you going?
Not too far for me. What's not too far? Laura, he's leaving. He's going to go outside with the dogs now. Got all my crochet behind me. I've been working on my crochet. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. We've got our muffin stuffed. We've got our change all taken care of in our jar. If you paid attention, you know there's a lot of jingle in there. And I'm going to get back to canning. Watch this week because I'm going to be doing my Fiesta Beans video. I also have a video coming out for making my veggie broth from scraps that I save in the freezer. You know, I took a little bit of heat a few months ago when I cut up my onions. There's another puppy dog. My God, they just keep coming out of the woodwork. I took a little heat, and they said, "Boy, country mama throws away a lot of her veggie stuff." And it's like, I don't throw it away. It all goes in the freezer, and I make my own homemade veggie broth. So I've got a video coming up for veggie broth. I've got a video coming up for a almost like a Lipton onion soup veggie broth that I put up with my canner. And then I'm going to do my Fiesta Beans. So keep an eye out for those. If you haven't seen the video we did of our date night last week, the beautiful, beautiful ice castles, please go over and watch that. It is so gorgeous. Not too far from me. Oh, you mean, okay, I got you. I thought you were talking about Mackinac Islands. Like, I have no idea where that comes into play. Yes, Laura, I got you now. Not too far from me. If we end up going to the destination that the spinning wheel chose for us today. If we end up down in your neck of the woods, we'll have to see if we can do a YouTube meetup and see if we can meet up. I'd love to see if I could get like Casey from Boots and Bounty and Casey from Ormsby Farms to come over. Don't know how too far. I don't know how far away that is, but lots of fun things we could get together and do. So Papa Jim's got things to do. They're calling him to get outside. He's got some technical stuff to deal with for our kids' cars, and he's all dressed and ready to go for that. And I'm going to go check on my ranch beans. Rebel Canners is close to Mackinac Island. So if we end up there, Tammy, maybe we'll stop by and we'll talk Rebel stuff. So with that, guys, have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week, Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Time. Papa Jim will stuff my muffin a little bit more.
Might be a little change coming up.
I think Papa Jim's going to get rid of. I'm going to behave myself.
Yes. Behave.
It's so difficult to behave myself. Nashville's pretty close to me. That's what I know. That's what you're trying to say. I just didn't want to give it away too much there, Laura. But yes, I didn't want to give it away where you were going to. Be blessed, Ben's over at Acres. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tammy and Laura and Marsha and everybody that came in today. If I forgot to mention your name, that's apologies. I do apologize for that. But have a blessed week, and we will see everybody soon. Take care. Bye-bye.